right. Welcome back. We are the enemies of the fire. I am joined once again here by James and by DPG. How are you doing, gentlemen? I am FC Neo Tokyo, by the way.
Hello, everybody.
So, hello. What episode are we on again? No, we are on episode 1. We have been so excited to bring you this podcast. We have been so excited to do this. It's kind of a podcast of the fans for the fans, man. We're not here trying to do the scientific analytics. We watch the team and we want it to do better. So anyway, guys, what's going on, man? What are you guys looking at? What are you guys thinking? What happened in the soccer world that's got you going?
Well, I listened to a podcast earlier today. It was talking about a couple stories. We'll get into some of the bigger ones, but they were saying, namely, that the Fire did nothing all off season, and I just went it over with you guys, and we just found like 3 new guys in our back line. So it's like all of a sudden I'm realizing, well, we might have a little bit more different team than we think we do. So right now in goalkeeper, we have Brady returning, but at left back, there's going to be a brand new old face in Gutman. Andrew Gutman returning, all the way from Charlotte or somewhere, right?
For the uninitiated, what's the Andrew Gutman soap opera?
You tell me.
Oh my God.
I remember this.
Oh yeah. So he was an academy kid who was highly rated, and the Fire were like, yeah, dog, we're the only game in town. And he said, no, you're not. And he went overseas and played and refused to play for the Fire. And then when his overseas time, didn't quite go to plan and he needed more playing time, came back to MLS. Of course he's going to come to the Fire, right? He's been to a few teams now.
First team was Atlanta. Was it?
Did he win a cup with Atlanta?
I think.
Did he really win a cup with Atlanta?
I think he might have.
Oh man, that would hurt.
He was in Atlanta. He's becoming a journeyman, or he's already a journeyman.
Yeah, he's in that category. He's a category of like MLS guys.
Yeah, we don't know how good he is.
I mean, he's serviceable. That's the thing. Like that of all these kind of pickups is like, all right, that's a smart one.
By the way,
you feel same way that like we feel about Chris Mueller, because when we signed Chris Mueller, I'm like, that's a smart one.
That was a smart one. But here, by the way, for those that don't know, we acquired Gutman by trading in our old left back, which was Miguel Navarro. And last I heard, he's actually going back to South America. We traded him to Colorado, and I guess Colorado.
Well, and we paid him cash.
Sam Vines,
money.
Yeah, Sam Vines was supposed to. He resigned. They didn't know if he was at first, so that's why they brought in that old Fire player, and then they booted him down to South America after Sam Vines resigned.
Man, isn't that crazy when a team makes good moves like that?
Well, that's the thing. I'm looking at some of these moves, and they've definitely changed some things around. I mean, Gutman, hopefully he's a serviceable MLS back. And then you go to the next guy, Chicos. We know he's a serviceable MLS center back. He's the captain is absolutely. It's funny. He's one of the better center backs in the league. Yet you feel like the parts around him you just could never trust. But maybe this year it's going to be different because he's got Salkist next to him. Sunkist.
I'm going with Salkist.
Time is against him though. He's already up there. He's getting up there in age. I think he's 32 now. By the way, he did admirably last season. He was catching up to some of these speedsters pretty good, but you can't stop Father Time.
You can't, but I feel like MLS is a league that is okay to be a little bit on a slower if you're still tough and like not banged up too bad, because really there's only a few teams that are going to have a speedster up front. You know what I mean? Other than that, these guys, like a true professional, like a Chios, can kind of take care of most strikers in the league, but
he reads the plays good.
Well, we need to strike now. It's like you have a good player, don't squander it type of thing. So who else? So we said Salquist.
The new guy, Salquist. Is he going to be any? How good is this guy going to be?
No idea.
He's a question mark. Yeah, he's a question mark. I think someone actually reached out on Twitter to his old team or somebody from their old team, or hashtagged them from his old team, and they just put, "You got a good one" with a smiley face on it. So I don't know if that's, you really did get a new good one, or
you don't know how sarcastic that is. Like
exactly.
Oh God, that would be awful, right? Just here, good luck, fucker. Here you go.
Maybe for the cash.
Yeah, no crap. So, I mean, here's my biggest problem with like acquiring players as the Fire. If I were a fan of Atlanta and they got Sahlquist, I'd be like, oh, I've never heard of this guy. There's got to be something. He probably will be good. Cool. But like, it's the Fire. And after years of, Sergio McDonald and, these kind of like all these other
Gaston Jimenez. The mistake that they just can't get rid of.
No, they love making that mistake. Dude. That's going back to your ex so bad too. That's God, that's like no
2
shame.
times.
Oh, that's
a mistake twice made. Who's the right back? You said that there's a new right back because, of course, Souquet sucked. I mean, I guess Souquet is French for suck.
Yeah,
well, he didn't suck as much as he was just the highest paid right back in the league and did not play anywhere near to that. He just played serviceable.
I was going to say, the thing is that we got rid of the previous right back, which was Sekulic. Because Sekulic tended to go up front a lot and then kept getting burned on the counterattacks. And I didn't see anything special from Sekulic. And I thought, okay, we're bringing in a guy from League One, from, Souquet. Same thing again. The guy was.
It just feels like the same move over and over
again. Yeah,
it's like it's change in just name only. Like nothing changes because everything is still the same. That's the problem. But this guy, I will say, before he was at Lugano, Alan Arrigoni, whatever. I'm bad with Italian names.
This new guy, Alan Arrigoni.
Yeah. Before he went to Lugano, he was heavily scouted by the Chelseas and the Barcelonas of the world. So it's one of those things like, you can have a late bloomer. He's still relatively young from what I understand. So this is one of those, like, again, if the Fire had good faith, it'd be like, hell yeah, cool, let's take a flyer on this guy. But they don't have any good faith built up. So it's just like, oh, what the hell is this? Where's Serginho Dest?
I mean, in their defense, last season we had Selassie come in as from loan from Lugano, and Selassie did,
favorite player last season, man.
What? I didn't have high expectations last season for him. I'm thinking, this is just another guy that's going to take up space on the bench. But holy crap, the guy surprised me. He proved me wrong.
For sure. It was one of those, they didn't have the goodwill. So it's just like, oh, great, another guy I haven't heard of.
Did he leave? Did he go back? Because he'd be an
No, it's permanent now.
It's permanent.
I like him.
So
that's
we have
addition.
Him.
So that's another addition in some ways.
In some ways, but
they're still stuck with Gaston Jimenez. They're still stuck with a couple of other players. And it was interesting to hear the story I heard earlier today on this podcast I was listening to, Allocation Disorder, I believe. I don't know, was it Allocation or what was it? Something post on Twitter made.
No. It was Total Soccer Show.
Total Soccer Show with
Tom Bogart.
Tom Bogart and a couple other good people. And they were mentioning that Kellen Acosta was the first through the door to come to talk to the Chicago Fire, and that's usually a good indicator of what's to come. That they're going to be able to sign him, but they let him walk out for reasons unknown. But apparently, they told Kellen kind of the plan, and Kellen calls back about a month later, or they call Kellen. They call Kellen about a month later, and they're like, "Hey, can we? You still want us to come sign with us?" And he's like, "Hey, everything you told me you were going to do, you haven't done." And it leaves this guy wondering if they're just lying to him, yanking his chain, trying to get him to be the first domino to fall in a list of other questionable mark dominoes that Georg Heitz, the GM of the Chicago Fire, really doesn't know which one's going to come. But he's trying to sell the idea that Kellen, we're going to build around you. We got this guy coming. But apparently nothing's
happened yet.
None of that's materialized. And so that leaves Kellen Costa in a lurch, and why he's not signed with the Chicago Fire yet, even though he was interested.
Here's the thing, man. Kellen Acosta is an image guy too. He's out here trying to sell jewelry and stuff, right? So like, he's gonna care about how things are marketed. So they said he's gonna be the face of the revival. And he's like, I'm going to be the face, right? Not the entire revival. You know what I mean? And so I get that a domino has to fall first, but like, dude, you can't do that to a guy who knows better. He knows better. He's literally like, you're about to set me up to fail. You're about to set up the last bit of my career and make me look like a fucking asshole instead of the badass who like stared down the Mexican players before their penalties. You know, like that's got to be going through his head, man. And I think they lost him. I would love for him to be on the team. I've been a fan of his since the FC Dallas days, but like, dude, I think they lost it.
Here's the thing. And you know what? I respect Colin Acosta for actually not just signing and just not trying to get another check. Mad kudos to him. But if he's telling them, hey, you said you're going to make this team better. Nothing's happened. Why would I sign with you? Can you imagine how many other players probably said the same thing to the Fire that we don't know about?
But not everybody's as brand conscious as that, right? Like some guys are just going to be like, well, how much? All right.
He doesn't want to come here to be in a losing team. And, keep in mind, this guy is, he gets called up for the national team. And that's something to think about. Do you want to be called? Do you think you're going to get called up to the national team on a losing team?
On the last place team in MLS?
The last place team?
No, you got to be doing special things in MLS to get call-ups. You know what I mean?
And he gets called up. So that's something he probably thought about. He's like, why am I going to get stuck with a last place team? How am I going to get called up? Nobody's going to care. And to be honest, he wouldn't have a lot of tools to work with. I mean, yeah, the midfield is fine. Not yet. The midfield is fine. If you had him, it makes it even better. But, I hate to do this, but think about our strikers.
Well, that's the question. Who's our starting striker day one now?
FIFA has Pershbilko. FIFA has Pershbilko, but it's probably Tom Barlow.
You think Barlow's going to start? You really think Barlow is going to, or Kusitas?
Like,
in my mind, it's a waste every second we don't have a DP striker to not just play Kusitas because he's the only young one we've got. So might as well see if it pans out.
It worked for Duran. You got a point there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like every second there's not a star in that position, that kid should be playing, or there's no reason to have the kid. Get rid of him and sign Vela. You know what I mean?
Why are you losing money on him? Yeah, you're right. Develop him, play him.
I mean, I would even sign Vela. That guy's injury prone.
Chicharito
as a backup, I would. As a backup,
100%. He's gonna want DP money as a backup.
Well, he's gonna pull a Chicharito and go somewhere where he is not a backup.
Chicharito went to Chivas.
Yeah, he did. Back to his boyhood club.
Imagine having the midfield. You have Mueller. You have Shaqiri. You have Selassie. You have Herbers.
Gutierrez.
So, and you add Kellen Acosta in it, that's a pretty decent midfield, right?
It would be a decent midfield, but you're forgetting
Jimenez though. So
yeah, you're forgetting about Jimenez and Freddie Navarro.
Well, I'm thinking that they're going to be on the bench. They're going to be on the bench.
I don't think Klopas thinks that.
Oh, Navarro.
I mean, one of them would be for Kellen, but the other one damn sure is out there. We run in two center defensive mids, right?
Yeah. So we have a set midfield, right? But what's the point of creating all that magic if the guy receiving that magic is a Casper, is a Tom Barlow, it's Kutsias, and
Kutsias blows up and scores 28 and has 10 assists, man. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you got to play the kid or play the star. And if there's no star,
there is no star.
Exactly.
He's still growing. There were times last season where his decision making wasn't all that great, and I don't think he has the proper guidance on how to make those choices. I don't think there's in this case, a DP striker that knows what it feels like to be on a winning team, that knows a system to kind of show him the way.
Speaking of
guidance, we're getting a whistle from the lady. We'll be right back after these quick messages. Hey there, enemies of the fire. What fire game do you have circled on your calendar this year? Is it the one we all expect? Or is it the unexpected? Let us know in the comments.
Hey guys, this is DPG, and you are listening to the Enemies of the Fire podcast. James, Mitch, and I started this podcast to talk about our favorite soccer club, which is the Chicago Fire. Thanks again for listening. Hope you hit the subscribe button, and go Fire.
All right, we gotta go back. We gotta go back into this roster. No, but we were talking about the striker position, and I have a very just for my own mental health. I need to know something. Do we have any other rumor other than Lewandowski who isn't coming? He scored again today. Like every time he scored, I'm like, he's not coming. So he scores today, and so he's not coming. Who?
We have a lot of dead weight to get rid of first. You're forgetting about Torres.
No. I don't care. I don't care about dead weight. I want to know who's coming. I don't care.
Who is coming? Swiderski? Karol Swiderski?
Oh, it's not kind of cost anymore, apparently.
No,
I mean
striker. I need to know what strikers we're like even trying. I want to be excited about something. I need something.
Does Christian Benteke want out of DC?
But here's the thing.
So.
I don't want like another MLS team's garbage. I don't want their, hand-me-downs.
I'll take
We
Christian
don't want
Benteke.
I wouldn't take him.
How old is Benteke?
I think he
had a pretty good season last year.
But I don't want like somebody else's hand-me-down, right? And the thing is
33.
Yeah, see, he's kind of
that's on the border there.
6'3". You can't teach height.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing, though, is we keep hearing rumors. Oh yeah, we're talking to strikers. We're talking to different players.
What rumors? That's what I'm asking for.
Well, there's been rumors going around since last summer. I mean, I think someone mentioned that they were talking to someone, but then this certain individual got arrested for domestic violence. Who
was it?
I don't know. I have no idea. Someone mentioned that.
I just want names. I want like people.
I know. But here's the thing. You're going to get the classic Heights response. Yeah, we were talking to a couple of players and, but at the end, we feel that this team currently can be a playoff caliber team.
We feel as Tom Barlow is bigger than the sum of his parts.
That's the response you're going to get. You're going to get we tried, but we're happy with what we have. And you better like it.
Goodness.
Guys, how many goals do you think that Christian Benteke scored last year?
15.
Less than 10.
15.
14.
Oh!
Who was Chicago Fire's leading scorer?
Selassie with 5. 6. Selassie with 6.
It was Selassie with 6.
Oh, baby.
Christian Benteke here would be a revelation.
I mean, Shaq would have someone to pass to.
Here's the thing. We've done this already. We did this with Casper.
That's the type of guy that they want in Casper that they could actually get.
Well, here's the thing. They try to do that with Casper.
Yeah.
They signed him from the union. They gave him a crap load of money, of fake money. And look what happened.
Man, I wish Ivan Toomey would have gotten more trouble and we could have got him.
He scored on his first day.
I know. I'm actually a fan of that kid. I just, I see. That's what I mean. Like, I'm looking for names. I need some reason to be excited. Even if we just spend a month complaining about one guy versus another, that would be so much more fun than this.
We need somebody to compliment Shaqiri. Shaqiri's a nice little piece to have. Honestly, Shaqiri fights for this fucking club.
You think we get that Kareem Benzema?
No.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Dude, Kareem Benzema is still just at the top of the world.
He's got some problematic stuff that happening though, right? Like he's been
Super
involved in
problematic, dude.
Yeah. It's
You don't want that guy on your team.
See, I don't know. I gotta look this
he's
up.
a walking case. I'm just gonna say it like that.
Yeah. No thanks.
I mean,
Well,
first
speaking
of all,
international, let's talk a little international soccer. Like, what's going on with that Saudi league?
Everybody wants to get out. Yeah, everybody wants out. The people are jumping overboard.
Really?
And I get that like people
even Neymar
want to slam
right?
these guys so bad. Oh yeah, Neymar wants out.
He just took their money and said, "You know what? I made enough for 2-3 seasons at playing at Barcelona. I want out of here."
Yeah, like some of these guys really looked at the money as like it's
it's life-changing.
Like Jordan
money.
Henderson,
it's generational wealth.
Exactly. Jordan Henderson could have set up like his grandkids. You know what I mean? But like he really just hated it. He changed his mind. People are allowed to change their mind. People are allowed to make mistakes. That's the thing. It's like that's why most people just stick to their guns out of the spite of fact. It's because nobody will like, as long as you admit to your mistake and you try and you change, like cool. So like he's like, I've made a mistake. I want out. I'm done. Sorry. Boom. Peace. It's like,
you had a clause. You had a clause like, hey, I'm gonna if I don't like it in 6 months, you still have to pay me for the whole year.
I mean, how many players have come and gone from MLS in one season? So many international players have come and gone in one season.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't work.
Well, sometimes you want to live at home, dude. Like look at Darlington Nagbe could have played in any league in the world, and he just never wanted to leave fucking Columbus.
Yeah,
that would be awesome to have.
He's like Dave Chappelle. He loves Ohio for some reason. They could
have had him. The Fire could have signed him, but he would never be interested in coming here because the Fire's program is just not a winning program. But back to international stuff. What else is going on? Wasn't there some stuff with Pulisic?
So I wanted to ask this personally was I heard that and this is how informed I am. What's his face? The keeper for Milan. Starts with an M. I think he's a French guy.
Yeah, he is.
He was racially abused during the game, and I was legitimately sick. I am still sick. You can probably hear it. But so I missed everything this weekend and only saw a glimpse of that. So I'm curious, if he walked off the pitch, did our Captain America support him and walk off with him? You know what I mean? I'm curious about that. I'm curious about what happened. Did they suspend the game? Who was he even against? Was it Laszlo or whatever?
Was it Udinese? I don't want to mention teams because I don't want to say the wrong team, and then people are like, "Oh my god, that team is But from what I read was that the keeper was at his playing his spot.
Udinese bans fan for life after group racially abuses AC Milan goalkeeper during game.
So it was Udinese.
Polish. Police. Police. Sorry.
The Polish.
Police. There's a white and red dot, flag right next to it. So it confused me too. Police punish 4 more Udinese soccer fans for racially abusing AC Milan goalkeeper as well. So in addition,
that's wild.
That is, the guy is he has a job. He's doing his job. He doesn't need some idiot in the back. I think I read that they were making monkey noises or something like that, which is messed up. You should never do stuff like that at all. Racism, racism doesn't belong anywhere.
No, especially in such a sport that the joy of the sport is seeing a super Slavic dude next to a Asian player next to someone from Africa, and it's such a mismatch of people and worlds and personalities and shit.
Somehow they know how to communicate with each other.
They're the best of the best, and that's what's crazy. They've played soccer so much with so many other people throughout their lives. We've all played, but they have just iron sharpens iron, and they're the sharpest of the irons. And how dare these fucking people do that? And it really seems to happen a lot in a couple of these European leagues.
It's mind blowing because you guys played soccer in high school, right? So my experience, our goalkeeper was Polish. Our striker was Mexican. Our midfielder, one of our midfielders, Ecuadorian. We had a mix of a bunch of different people. We had an Argentine guy in there. I think we had another guy that might have been Italian. We had a mix of players, and somehow, like we worked as a unit. And that's the same thing with the AC Milan. They work as a unit. And to answer your question, I believe the game was stopped for 10 minutes, and I think they went. I don't know if the teams went to the locker room.
It says he was joined by his teammates when he walked off.
There you go. So
the
Captain
28-year-old goalkeeper was joined by his teammates. This is from CBC.ca Sports. 28-year-old goalkeeper was joined by his teammates, and the match was suspended for about 5 minutes before they returned. And Milan went on to win 3-2.
Okay, so there you go. So Captain America did the Captain America thing.
I love it because it's kind of fun because if you notice, what's one thing that the Team USA has always had? It was that like togetherness. They were better than the sum of their parts. And it's fun to see that when we finally have some talent, they're not all a bunch of assholes. Like they come together pretty well. You know what I mean? And so
it's a gritty blue collar team almost.
Right. That has so much more talent than any blue collar team we've ever had. Right. But so like, it's great to see them make the right decisions and not be assholes. It's nice to see when, people do the right thing. So that's why I was curious. Cause I know there's been things about Pulisic out there and things like that.
Has any of that stuff been going out in Saudi League? Is that why some of these players want to leave, or
that's a good question.
I wonder what's going on that's making a lot of these players, go take the bag and not want to actually stay, because that's what the Saudi they were expecting that May.
Yeah,
I
but
think you might
isn't there a lot of things that are banned? I don't think I think alcohol maybe. Some of these guys just want like a social life. Well,
Messi's wife, right, or girlfriend, or significant other, she did not want to go there because it was very limiting. And Ronaldo's wife has apparently made many, many, many complaints.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is they bent the rules for him.
Yeah,
but I mean that's
he's
the thing,
he's a
man.
minor prince.
Pretty much wild, right?
Think about that. Yeah. Ronaldo is kind of like a minor prince over there because he does get a little bit different treatment than some of the other players. That's probably why.
I'm not sure. That's something that would be repressed, but I've yet to hear any racial abuse situations coming out of Saudi Arabia. But the two things that I hear that's the big deal is like, oh crap, like we thought we'd have enough money that our girlfriends and wives would be okay, and they're not. This sucks. You know what I mean? And then and then the other thing
happy
is
wife, happy life. Yeah.
And the other thing is some of the teams don't draw at all. Like Steven Gerrard's team, they say like draws in the hundreds of fans, like not even in the thousands.
But they're paying the team itself.
And so it's just like, they're like, we're professionals. We played in the Premier League last year. Like, I don't want to play in front of 600 people.
I saw a video of Kim Jong-un attending like some sort of volleyball match, and everybody and like all the athletes, they're cheering for Kim Jong-un, and everybody in the place it's like they're all putting a show on for him. And that's you get shot. I imagine that's kind of how the Saudi league kind of might feel. No, I mean, I don't know if it feels that level, but it feels like maybe they're putting on a show, and in a way, it's just not taking, and it's for the wrong people who really can't appreciate it. Maybe.
Well, here's another thought, though. It's probably we kind of saw this happen with the Chinese league a couple of years ago, where out of nowhere, a lot of these Chinese clubs were like paying big money to bring players over to play in their league. And look what happened now. A lot of those teams went under. They don't exist.
Well, I from what I understood was they still had the money coming in. The issue is the Chinese government was pissed and really reduced down the number of foreign players down from 6, 7 to 3. And so it was like the early years of MLS teams with DPs. You know what I mean? You had a guy making 19 grand next to a guy making, 1.5 mil, like that. So they really then there was no interest. right?
Yeah.
So then like things went under, but which is crazy. I don't know, man. It's one of those things like, how long do they got enough money to throw at the problem? But
I mean,
and
it is
then
oil money, so it might be a while.
and then I guess the real interesting thought, exercise is in their attempt to sport wash their image to maybe necessarily push a more religious based way of life, like the West has pushed their open, democratic, so to speak, way of life in their way of media and things like that. Do you think that's what ends up happening, or do you think because they want to be a power in soccer, they actually end up being forced to lax rules and to become more open and, for lack of a better word, liberal or whatever, where say women do gain more rights? Like, would soccer bring rights and different change to their government, or is it still always going to be a sport washing exercise? Like, I guess that's my true question.
Well, speaking of oil money, not work from our sponsors.
Now, I know no one really likes a commercial break in the middle of their podcast, but we at Enemies of the Fire think it's good to every now and again try to grapple with the demons within your own heads. And honestly, I think the very first step to grappling with those demons is hitting the like button. Sound.
Thanks for tuning in to Enemies of the Fire podcast. Subscribe for more. We're going to be here all season long. Can't wait.
You left him on the worst cliffhanger in the history of time.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Oh, that was brutal.
And
Yeah, we're back. It's the fucking show. All right, hold on.
Well, I mean, it's, I don't. So yeah, so the word out there, especially with the whole situation with golf is like, it's sport washing, and that's kind of been the thing lately, which is possible. Maybe they're trying to hide their human rights record. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But at the end of the day, money talks, and we've seen a lot of pro golfers go over to live. So
is that still like happening, or is the PGA still hemorrhaging people
to the point where they're having to make handshake deals with Live Golf to really keep existing?
So
keep existing.
It really did what it set out to do then.
Yeah, it definitely did. The dominoes kept falling. One of the recent ones, John Rahm, they get paid, and they get more money than it's like 5-10 seasons. It's absolutely bananas.
Hold on, I got something fun for you guys.
Yeah,
I got something fun for you guys. Let's spruce things up here. The biggest news from the Fire since signing the most mediocre players you've ever heard of is that they had a new shirt sponsor. There's a new sponsor on the kit, on the beautiful confetti kit. We have yet to see the red one. We are still in limbo on this red kit. And a DPG wearing that confetti kit. That's where this is headed. Is what is your favorite Fire kits ever? What are your favorips?
Let's hold on that thought, and let's talk about the sponsorship.
They're problematic.
I'm crying over here. I'm laughing.
Because
there's a lesson in
certain caveats.
Yeah,
it came with certain caveats. Like Hyundai said, "You got those guys, we want out,"
which is wild.
But Hyundai was not paying enough money to be a shirt sponsor.
No, but
still a nice sponsorship to have. Carvana comes along, pays enough money to secure the shirt sponsor, and Hyundai, who also is a sponsor of Chicago Fire, is like, are you guys serious?
It's
goodbye.
It's like,
that's grounds for breaking the contract.
It's like having Enron as your sponsor, or having the Koch brothers as your sponsor. It's just.
Or like Anon or whatever when they were on Manchester United.
Yeah, it's like
you went from legitimate car company to
no longer being able to do business in Illinois.
Well, they
To a
can.
stonk.
They can now. I saw a Carvana car the other day, delivering a
man.
Tesla. I was like, I wonder if that's going to Chicago Fire player as part of the deal.
Ooh,
Oh, that would be
good luck
nice.
starting
I
that
would,
up or charging
I
it
would
up.
love to hear about something like that. So
They all get Tesla. Shakira shows up in a Tesla, courtesy of Carvana.
So we know Carvana is sketch, and right now they're relying on a court injunction to still be able to do business in the state in which they sponsor a jersey of a team.
Not a good look, Tope. Not a good look.
Not a great look. No, I'm going to tell you that right now. But I contest
It's
that
bad shit.
I contest that all sponsors are bad because this is a salary cap league, and it's not like, oh, Nottingham
Except for our
Forest gets a
sponsors. Our sponsors are great.
That's wrong because you remember, at least with Quaker, we used to get free stuff after the game.
okay. Well, Quaker, yeah, and Aldi gave us milk.
And Aldi gave us milk.
Yeah, I remember. Aldi is awesome, I'll admit, but I think the kits look better without a sponsor. There's I'm being sold to so much at all times already.
Nope.
I don't know how much money there is in the transfer kit. No, it's not that there's not money, because I think that there's money. There's mechanisms in play that limit the Fire's acquisitions abilities to the point where they can't get Georgi Mihailovic.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I could understand if we're in the championship over in England, right? Because like Carvana might sign, a star striker, right?
Yeah.
But in a salary cap league, you can only spend so much, bro. And the guy's a billionaire. So nobody needs that money.
He's not even the top 10 richest billionaire. He's not even in the top 10 for MLS.
Keep in mind,
he's still a billionaire.
He's mid.
Yeah.
He's mid. So sponsorships, like you gotta admit though, a lot of the cool classic jerseys, whether you're talking, Opel on AC Milan, or that Tekla for Real Madrid, that always stands out. When people talk about jerseys, they talk about, oh yeah, you have that Barcelona jersey that used to say UNICEF on. They stand out. A plain jersey reminds me so much of like a high school jersey. It's just it looks empty.
I can't help but disagree.
No,
like,
it looks empty. It's like nobody wants to pay you for the pleasure of putting their name on your shirt. You look like a struggling team.
Nah, tell me, you don't get that pleasure.
It completes the look of a struggling team.
Well, it used to say Fire.
I agree with Toke. I like the look.
Okay.
But it does complete the look of a struggling team.
Let me ask you this. Bayern Munich, you look at their jersey. Who's the sponsor?
Vodafone? I don't know.
T-Mobile. Okay. Imagine if they took out T-Mobile and just left Bayern Munich. Now it looks like a jersey that you get at, when you're trying to set up a like an amateur team.
Yeah, their practice kits.
They would make them look cooler though. They would design them to look cool. They wouldn't just be empty. Like, remember the Fire kit used to say Fire or Chicago across.
Yeah, that's before anybody even had sponsors on their jersey because it was the MLS back then. Nobody had sponsors on their jersey.
They had All Sport on the back.
Yeah, because they couldn't afford the money. Where's All Sport now?
They don't exist.
They don't exist anymore. They wasted all their money on back jersey sponsorship deals. So my point is this: sponsorships are a cool thing if you get the right sponsor, because the sponsorships can make or break your jersey. If you get something funny or something that it's something that nobody knows what it is, it just looks weird. But if you look at, for example, you look at Seattle when they had Xbox. Having Xbox across your chest was kind of cool.
Super cool. And what the hell is Herbalife? Is it pot?
It's a pyramid scheme.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Allegedly.
So it's not the pot. Okay.
No, there you go. That would be a cool sponsor. Get Ivy Hall Dispensary. Sponsoring the Chicago Fire.
Portillo's,
Portillo's.
Someone had herbal chicken.
WeatherTech.
RC Cola.
Man, Green River.
There you go.
River. So sick.
See, I think you guys are missing the point.
Goose
of just
Island.
capitalism
Look, man.
bad.
Look, man, you take the money, you take the sponsorship, and that's it, bro. It's all about the dollar bills, man. I know you're trying to play that. Oh, but we don't need any more money.
What if
trust me?
We don't.
I got. What if Saudi Arabia came knocking, and they put up Saudi Air?
Ooh.
I mean,
Here's $1
it's
billion, Chicago Fire.
No, there's no reason to
Is that
sell your
gonna sign
soul.
somebody?
Blood money. Yeah.
Is that gonna get us somebody though? If it gets us somebody, then
That
you know
gets us Lewandowski. Would you guys take?
exactly. Imagine that. Imagine
like a deal with the
here's
devil.
$1 billion, and we'll give you Ronaldo's contract.
Okay.
Oh,
And you got to make sure it can come through and not get in trouble with
everybody
the courts.
has a price, man.
Damn.
Oh God,
That's
no!
true.
It's a salary cap league. There's no reason to sell your soul.
Dude,
All that
everybody
money
has
is
a
going.
price.
we'll have the Classico with Inter.
So is the
Chicago
NBA.
versus Inter.
So is look at the NBA. They got sponsors on their jerseys. And
I know
and
that's
salary cap team.
greed. That's what you call greed.
There's a second
It's called
Classico.
capitalism.
So they got whatever. What's the California one? LAFC versus
Is it the? No, that's
El Tráfico. El Tráfico.
Oh, yeah, El
and then
Tráfico.
we'll have the real El Clasico. Bring in Ronaldo. Take on
God.
Messi.
there you go. Miami versus Chicago. There you go.
There you go.
Hey, that was a good game we went last year.
Chicago.
All right, so wait then. What is your guys' favorite fire kits of all time?
The Chicago flag, black kit, the blue
The
arm,
black one?
the black
Oh,
one with the blue flag
that is
arm.
cool.
It's my absolute favorite.
You know, it's because to me, yeah, you know what? I kind of have to agree with James there. It's something about that black Chicago flag on the side that just kind of like Chicago made type of deal, man. It's just, it pops out. You look at that jersey, you're like, oh, that is a Chicago team. You know,
That was a sick jersey. I don't know if you remember, but they did that
The
fan
collars
contest.
are blue.
Oh man, do you have one of those, James?
Yeah, I got one upstairs.
Oh no way. So
I have the black jersey upstairs too.
that was like a fan contest. I don't know if you guys remember
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I felt like that, like when I saw all three of them, I was like, well, throw out the other jerseys, just use these three. You know what I mean? Because they
Yeah.
were all sick. All of them were sick, man.
I remember the argument that was going around because I think one of the finalists or two of the finalists were baby blue jerseys.
Yeah.
And the black one. And everybody was like, yeah, we're going to get the baby blue jerseys back again. That's what everybody wants.
Yep. There was, and it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. There was some controversy there. They were saying apparently the Fire were not happy with having baby blue again. They said they went with the black one. I mean, which is still a beautiful jersey, but it kind of leaves you with that what if you would have gone with that baby blue. You know?
I'm going to say something very unpopular. I think my favorite of all time is the confetti kit, the sponsorless confetti kit. That
Really?
it's one of my, it's so cool. It's the most inventive thing the team has literally ever done.
I like it. I like the jersey, but it's not one of my favorites. But this is coming from a diehard Fire fan that buys every jersey that comes out every year. I have a closet full of jerseys right now.
Do you for real?
I have.
So
Yeah.
Wait, since 2011, you've bought a jersey every year?
The only one that I'm missing is the navy blue one that had tiny little words that said fire. That's the only one I'm missing in terms of jerseys from 2011 until now.
Dang, man. So home and away, like 2 every season? Or well, I guess the new one.
It's one every year. So it's not too bad because, you know, hey, I'll save up some cash during the year. When that jersey launches, boom, I buy it. I mean, I'm happy. It's not like in Europe where European teams release new jerseys every year.
Oh, that's rough.
I have a Schweinsteiger Manchester United jersey, and I have a Schweinsteiger Fire jersey, and I often confuse them picking out of the picking them out. They're like the exact same red. There's so many similarities in the kit. It's kind of crazy between.
So you're that guy that walks around Soldier Field with a random, Manchester United jersey, and it's like the Fire versus
No,
New York or
I'll
something
wear a
like
Fire
that.
jersey typically for a Fire game, but if it's not a Fire game, I'll wear something else. Yeah.
I did that once. I wore a Fire hat to a Colorado Rapids Vancouver Whitecaps game, which was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Breck Shea scored, so that was cool.
Classic.
Oh,
Classic
that's classic break shit, yeah.
And listen, if you're gonna bring up Breck Shea, I think that's where you have to take a break. So I think we gotta wrap up.
All right, we'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys here in a minute. See you right around the corner.
Peace.
Enemies of the Fire. What's your favorite Fire jersey that you own? Got this old classic kit. Love it. The Schweinsteiger. Valspar. The gray. The gray years. 4th of July kit. And my favorite, Chicago flag.
What's up, fellow enemies of the fire? I am FC Neo Tokyo. I'm so happy to tell you that this season I am a season ticket holder, finally. So you see me in the streets, come say hi, say what's up, all that good stuff. I'll be around, and yes, I don't know how I pulled her either.
And we're back.
Oh my god, we're back. What are we even talking about, James?
I just dropped in.
I
just dropped in.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say it. That's a rabbit hole right there. I don't want to drop the name we were talking about earlier. But Toke wants.
Oh my god, we have to talk about this. You are so right.
Oof, we're talking about the definition of a journeyman. Like the guy that has the look that defenders fear, attackers fear. Like this is the guy that you saw him walk down the street, you probably cross the street.
Jairo Torres?
Just saying.
Who?
Ooh, I'm actually confused now.
Yeah, who? Jairo Torres? The
No.
worst DP
We
signing?
were talking about Break Shea.
Oh, yes. Breck Shea. Oh my god. Cue picture with the guns right now. God, fucking Breck Shea.
Oh man. Did I ever tell you about that picture that the Real Salt Lake did one year with Kyle Beckerman? I think we posted it. Well, we seen it. I think you guys seen it before. It's him running and there's a fucking line behind him. It's like a painting almost.
Of
And
Kyle
someone's-
Beckerman?
Kyle Beckerman. Someone said, "Why am I going to pay $400 for a picture of a hobo?"
You know what?
But-
I always thought Kyle Beckerman was a good player, but like you always know he's up for like bad decisions because any white person
Yeah.
with dreads makes bad decisions.
Oh man.
Well,
Who's
hold
the
on,
other guy?
hold on. We need to talk about something that's very
Okay.
serious. This is very serious here. Journalism.
Journalism.
Ooh.
Fire,
Journalism.
Get your credential, boys.
fire sticking their foot in it. And,
So-
and it's on the same day that Sports Illustrated lets go of all of their staff and ruins the hopes and dreams of a lot of, some sports writers. People, not everybody was looking at Sports Illustrated the same way as they used to, we know, but still, it's a venerated position to go write for Sports Illustrated, have that in your pipe. And the same day that happens, Chicago Fire revoke the credentials of Adnan Besic, who's a great writer on a couple different platforms and does a little podcast with the Sad
Bad
Boys.
boys with Jiggly.
I
And
enjoy his,
congratulations on pronouncing his last name. Congratulations.
I enjoy Adnan, and I thought it was a big mistake, and the reason that he was let go and it was revoked is because he wrote a scathing story, and the scathing story was just honest. It was just being honest. There was nothing it wasn't like they took a razor blade and cut them. He just with the couple strokes of a pen said, "Hey, this is what it feels like, and it hurts to be a Fire fan." And what's crazy is that other journalists can the line you have to walk of cork soaking in journalism is getting too fine. I do not appreciate what they did to this guy. He's a young guy who's up and coming, and he's quality. He's good at what he freaking does. I enjoy reading this shit.
I enjoy listening to him on the podcast.
There is no possible way to articulate the malaise, the lack of ambition, the way it's felt for so long to be a fan better than he did in like the last 3 or 4 articles he wrote before they said go fuck yourself. He literally put into words exactly what it just feels like. It just like I was on here in another segment screaming about give me names, give me anything to be excited about.
And
like
here's the thing. If it would have been somebody from the like Chicago Tribune or the Chicago Sun-Times, I highly doubt the Fire are going to revoke their media credentials.
Exactly. Brian Sandoval's written some other stories that
he has, but he sprinkles those in between.
Well, here's the thing. It's hard to write something nice about a piece of turd.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you
It's hard to write. You cannot. It's hard to write something nice about a piece of turd.
What happens when you polish a turd? It just goes right into the towel, into the fabric.
It just ruins everything. God, I'm not OCD, but I love to clean, and just that thought, that image you put in my skull is going to give me nightmares.
I know, but I'm not being malicious, but it really feels like the Chicago Fire were being malicious.
It's like they want you to write nice things.
What they did to Adnan, the way that they did this, the way that they go about it, the way that what they cited. I thought that they could have thicker skin than that, and especially being a fucking professional club, and the kid's like fucking 19 or 20 or 21.
He's fresh out of college,
and
right?
He's good at what he does. It's like
exactly.
He says what we, the fans, are feeling in a way that like we've seen with other people, like the people who've gone on to great things, like Paul Tenorio. I see this talent, and I really feel like the Chicago Fire themselves flushed his talent down the drain, and he'll be fine. He'll recover, but it's just
he's gonna get all the street cred in the world, A, and B, he's gonna write amazing articles about teams even like we should pay attention to but aren't going to, right, in the lower divisions. So, and like he'll find his niche, man. But this is wrong because it's just wrong. Literally wrong, because you have a kid who cares about the sport, cultivating his craft in your city, local.
And here's the thing, though. He was probably one of the very few people that would actually ask soccer questions during press conferences, and not some BS about how's your stay in Chicago? Have you tried the deep dish? Like some random crap. So
are you going to win the World Cup?
Are you going to win the World Cup? So for the Fire to do something like that is, first of all, it's sad. All right,
it is sad.
That everybody's going to write a puff piece about the club when the club can't even win. And the fact that you did that to him, it just shows that you're trying to hide a bunch of BS in the closet because you know this team is not going to win anything this season.
And Adnan would have been the first one to give him any credit.
They literally are brand new right now because they feel like they have all this credit built up. Like, okay, I know this sucked, but like, we got this. Trust us. It's like, no, you have lost that so long ago.
Yep. And what credibility that they had recouped from the Nelson Rodriguez years. It's just been shredded again.
It's always these independent reporters though that stick to the soccer points. They bring the news to the fans, and they don't go around trying to avoid asking the hard questions, because that's always been an issue with the media when it comes to press conferences, when it comes to interviews. They don't ask the hard questions.
Here's the softball,
they rather go
DPG.
around it.
There's the softball.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, part of the problem too is like they just won't answer. I remember Nelson would just like, somebody would ask like, hey, why is Lampson starting? You seem to have created a keeper controversy. And he's like, what do you mean? What controversy? It's just like you won't even acknowledge that it exists. It's just like, it's like, are you going to be mad at that guy for not asking a follow up? Hell no. He's like, I mean,
no, it's like that. I think last season, someone asked about Heights' contract, and he took it all personally. Like, it's not up to me. It's up to Joe Mansour. Look, guy, he's just asking about your contract. All right, he's asking, do you deserve to be here after 3 or 4 years of failure?
Yeah, like sell us. Like,
sell us on you.
You don't have the benefit of the doubt anymore.
Yeah, but apparently the Fire, they wanna pretend like nothing's wrong. They want to pretend like, hey, this team, we're happy with this team. We don't care if we're in last place. We're happy with this team. People are gonna come see us. We're gonna bring a crap load of fans when Messi comes to town.
All right,
we're gonna bring a crap load of fans when Cristiano Ronaldo potentially comes to town.
Let's start wrapping it up here because we're gonna hit over an hour here, and I think we got a lot of stuff. But predictions, real quick. Do you think the Fire are gonna do anything this year? I have hope for Frank Klopas. He's the thing I have actual hope in. He's the perfect steward for this club because there's nothing here. If there was something here, you need a better coach. But there's nothing here, so he's the perfect steward for nothing. And that's why I like Frank Klopas to be the coach for Chicago Fire. I mean, like, he has something to prove.
Wait, your plan is to embrace nothingness?
Embrace nothingness. He has something to prove. Also, his assistant coach, what's his face? Namagura or something? The ex-Houston coach who got fired, almost was the Chicago Fire coach. To have him in-house with Frank, I think you're going to have some great MLS minds who'll be able to figure out some stuff and hopefully be able to scheme the Fire, scam them into the playoffs.
So,
I mean, they were terrible last year and they almost made it. So,
well, here's the thing. Let's look at this a little bit closely. So Nagamura. He only lasted 6 months in Houston. 6 months in Houston. Houston said, "This is not working out for us. We got to try something else." Look what happened this season. Look at what happened last season.
Wait, they got a coach that worked.
Well, didn't he coach? He coached somewhere before Houston, right?
And they had a massive turnaround.
Yeah, I think he might have been an assistant, but either way. So think about that. It wasn't working out in Houston. The GM,
Alonso,
the owner,
is that his name?
They saw that. They said, we're cutting ties with this guy because it's not working out. Look what happens. They're pretty much in the what? They won the MLS Cup. It's just they went to.
Man, this just reminded me of something.
Ben Olsen. James. Who's the coach? Ben Olsen?
Ben Olsen. So Ben Olsen reminds me of this guy. Which Harbaugh just got a job?
Jim.
Are you sad?
Chargers.
Okay, you're very sad about this, are you not?
I'm bummed for the Bears, and I'm bummed for the Bears fan in me, but I've just become a Chargers fan, baby. Bolt up! Bolt
up! Oh, my God. I think I'm bolt up. We got to wrap it up here. I have been FC Neo Tokyo. That is James. That is DPG. You can find us everywhere at... We'll write it under here because we don't have it set up yet. Anyway, good night, everybody. We love you.
Thanks for listening. Kick that like button, punt it, spread the word on menus nationwide. Tell us about Enemies of the Fire, which was the first time we're even mentioning the show's name.
No, I mentioned it. Oh, you're right. I mentioned it way earlier. Enemies of the
Fire, welcome. That's going to be great for the algorithms. We'll see you guys later.
All right.
If you don't like this video, they said they were going to cut my food rations. I don't know how I can go down further for them one piece of bread. Please just like the video.